Alright, boys, we're back again for the next hero raid in the rotation, White Shadow Castle Metis. So, all of you just starting to work on your mythic accessories set, or just want to farm every day, here's a quick guide on what to expect, how to beat them, and what monsters to bring. The general mechanics of the boss are still roughly the same. There's all the nasty red pools, the waves of nasty, and the big arm drops. All of these just hit quite a bit harder, and there are some additional mechanics involved. First and foremost, to understand about this new version of the boss, he gets this buff called Retrieve Souls. That purple buff right there. And it stacks all the way up to 10. As this buff stacks, Metis does way more damage and becomes much harder to kill. The boss can get this buff stacked by 1, killing your monsters, and 2, getting attacked by a damage based on number of harmful effects attack. Looking at you, Argon and Naranha. So while they are still amazing in this raid, you just need to know how to counteract the effect of the Retrieve Souls. While units like Argon increase the Retrieve Soul level, units like Sharon, the Water Magical Archer, will reduce the Retrieve Soul level with each weak point attack. The only monsters that do this kind of attack are the Magical Archers and Silver Fang, one of the One Punch Man collaboration monsters. So if you or your team doesn't have any Magical Archers, you really don't want to be bringing in your favorite Argon. But have no fear, Perna is here. Yup, as usual, Perna is the ultimate DPS monster in this raid, as she does massive damage, applies brand, and because the arms are immune to CC, Perna does really big damage to the arms as well. Let's talk about monsters. So for support, my favorite monster is still the almighty Shushu. Mostly because immunity is really helpful to completely avoid the effects of the boss. Of course, Ariel and Ophelia are amazing monsters as the cleanse off debuffs. Wusa is also an extremely good monster as he provides shields and immunity and that little bit of extra healing. One healer and an additional support monster like Bastet or Kroa should be plenty of support. As far as damage goes, Perna is the #1 pick, but if you plan on bringing an Argon or a Naranha, make sure someone brings at least 1 magical archer. In my testing, I found that 1 magical archer was typically enough to counter the effects of 2 Argons. I personally like to also bring Ardilla for the occasional block beneficial effects. Okay, as you start the match, watch to see if you get targeted with these spinning pools of nasty, and try to drop these off in the back or on the edges of the map. Early on, and occasionally throughout the fight, the boss will do the big wave attacks full of red nastiness. Try and run out of those, but if you can't, just use immunity to avoid most of the bad stuff. The arm stage is a little bit tougher. This will be the biggest challenge for lower level players. The arm actually heals itself, so you will either need to put out more damage, or you can also apply 2 types of debuffs, recovery received down and unrecoverable. Sharon, the Water Magical Archer, is good for this, but also your summoners Cleef and Orbia can apply unrecoverable. The rest of the fight is pretty much the same. There's 1 attack that steals all of your beneficial effects, so if you can keep block beneficial effects on the boss, it can make this less annoying. Ardella is great for this. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave 2 complete runs at the end of this so you can watch the runs from start to finish. That's going to be all from me. I'm Topher Smurf telling you to keep on gaming.